Well, good morning everyone. Little pit stop and I'm on my way fishing. Been a long week this week. I was very busy at work, putting in extra hours, trying to meet a deadline, and it all went to pot. My dog went really ill, Alfie, who wasn't good at all on Wednesday. About mid-morning he started going a bit funny, could hardly stand, couldn't sit down. He's 13 and a half years old, he's an old boy. Obviously caused a lot of concern, so I had to let work know that I've done what I could and I couldn't do any more, because all I could do was have to sit with the dog, cuddle him and try and make him relax, because he was just so anxious, just panting and he's getting distressed. So all I could do was sit with him. My wife was away, she was coming back that evening, so it's just me and the dog. Bit stressy, didn't know what to do, started thinking of the worst, looking at, well, you know what I mean. And anyway, the wife turned up all happy, and then she saw the dog, wasn't happy. Obviously there's a few tears going on for both parties. And yeah, we thought it was the end of it. I slept, well, I didn't sleep. I stayed up with him in the night. He normally comes upstairs and sits by our bed or sleeps by our bed. But he couldn't get up the stairs, and no chance. He was actually just struggling to get up like a single step to go in the garden. Yeah, it was stressy. I stayed up all night pretty much with him, looking after him, stroking him. Took him to the vets next morning, yesterday morning. They gave him some morphine injection, take the pain, she thinks it's something to do with his neck, but I think it's also exacerbated by the heat, because we're going through a bit of a heat wave at the moment. So yeah, it was a very stressful time. Yesterday was still pretty stressy, still couldn't calm. Yesterday evening he's almost back to his old self. He even managed to get up the stairs, and yeah, we're pretty much back to normal, which means I'm on my way fishing, because if he wasn't well I wouldn't be going nowhere. I'll still be cuddling him. But yeah, it's been a tough few days, but pit stop at McDonald's, and we're going somewhere new. We are going to, well, it's a Syndicate. I've managed to get a Syndicate ticket in May. The venue's not very close to my home. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours away, depending on the traffic. We're on our way. First actual visit with the tackle. I did walk around it before I paid the money over for the membership. Beautiful lake. It's an old estate lake. Sort of lake I started fishing, well, not started fishing, but started carp fishing on. Brings back very fond memories, being a very young teenager and going around this estate lake with my stepdad. He didn't fish, he just sunbathed all day, but he'd go down, sunbathe, drop me off, I'd go around this estate lake, and this is almost a facsimile of the venue. Right up my street. It's very weedy though, it's got lots of lily pads. I'm not too sure what to expect when I go down there, because when I saw it in May it was a bit coloured. We've had a lot of water, a lot of flooding going on, but I'm excited, and like I say, now I know the dog's doing well, my head's in a good place now. Can't wait to get down there, have a walk around and see if we can find the fish. If we catch this weekend I will be extremely happy. I don't think it's an easy lake by any means, but we can try, can't we? Anyway, I'm going to finish this and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay, so we're in the grounds. Traffic's been a nightmare. It's been very, very busy actually. But we're here. We're just coming to the estate. Well, we're in the estate. Just going to drive down to our parking space. And yeah, we're at the lake soon. And it's an absolutely gorgeous day. Could be too hot today. We have been having a bit of a heat wave lately. So let's get down the lake and have a look around. Watch guys, it's just coming up to 2 o'clock. It's absolutely sweltering. I've chosen a swim just based purely on the fact that I've seen some fish to the left hand side. Not in this swim's water, but I thought if there's fish there, then hopefully I'm close enough. But to go where the fish are, it's a really close swim. I think if you're literally setting up on top of them, and I think if you do that, they're just going to do the off. It's one of those small little lakes. There's a lot of weed, lots of lily pad beds dotted all over the place. So like I say, I've chosen the swim. So the fish I've seen are over towards that lily pad bed over there in the corner. But you've got a beautiful lake in front of me here. You've got those rushes straight opposite, so I'm thinking one against the rushes, and there's a couple of sets of lily pads over there in the middle of the lake, and I'm thinking tucking a couple of baits near those. Now you can see the weed, it is pretty bad. Let's see if we put me shades in front of the lens, you might even see it better, but I don't know if that's helping because now I can't see nothing. But there's a lot of weed out there. These are my prescription Polaroids, and I can't see what's going on the screen without those. But anyway, so this is a swim. It's a nice big swim. Just got all the stuff laying around at the moment. What I've been doing, well, I've seen the fish over there. There's a little swim straight in the middle of the camera there now. I've been over there and I've seen a nice fish, good mid-20 I'd say, and he's been taking a few floaters that I've been putting out, but not many, not enough to rush around and get the floater rod set up. But it's absolutely sweltering, like I say, so I might go around there, put a few more out there and just sit on my hands and just see if I can get more interest. But literally I was putting them on him and he's coming up, and as soon as I was in the water he's coming up and munching on them. But then he done the off, so I'm going to go around there again in a minute and have a look, see if he's come back and taken any of the free ones I put out. So that's where we are. It's absolutely gorgeous, but I'm not seeing as many fish as I'd have liked to have seen. I expect to see a few more shadows swimming across under the surface, but yeah, there's not that many I've seen. Like I say, I've all been down in that corner, ones I've actually seen, but maybe I'll have another look down the other end in a minute just to make sure I'm choosing the right spot, because I don't want to set up and then find out they're going mad down where the car park is. But anyway, I'm going to have a think, but I'm not rushing to get my rods out. I'm going to, you know, make sure I'm in the right spot and also see if there's an opportunity to do some stalking over there. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Oof, 10 to 3, still scorching. Bit of a breeze going down the lake. However, the swim I'm in, it's sort of missing it a bit because I've got this big bush to the side of me. Behind me there, you see, I'm getting the shade from. Now I'm going to go a minute. I've just set the floater rod up, tied just a hook, size 10 floater zig hook on the line, no control or anything, and I've not got any bread, but I've got some what are they called, the buns, Warburton's buns, coming like packs of 6 or packs of 12, which I normally have for me sausages in the morning. I've taken one of those out of the pack and I'm going to go over there because there's some fish mooching around, and I've seen some nice fish over there, and every now and again they're coming up and taking the odd bit of mixer. Not Pac-Maning by any means, but I think with a bit of bread I may stand half a chance to trip one up. So I'm going to sneak over there, and I've got the camera on, so if anything happens hopefully I'll capture it. But yeah, there's a few fish over there like I say, so I'm going to give it a go, and fingers crossed it's going to be proper stealth, because that's, you are right on top of the fish, and there's one literally taking floaters a foot or two from the bank. So I'm not too sure how it's going to go, and hopefully I don't spook them on the first cast. And I've still not even touched the gear in the swim yet. I've just been sitting around there watching what the fish are doing, where they're patrolling, and yeah, getting an idea where I can put a bait. So I've just seen one come up just then, so I'm going to get around there with the rod and the net, and we'll give it a go. missed one. Just missed one. Come on, off you come. There you go, that'll do me. Okay, so this is the little corner where I first saw all the fish. Pretty devoid of fish at the moment, but I've just put the bread out just in case. Bread is over there. I don't know if you can even see it. Not far out. Obviously not far out because I'm only free lining, but that's not far from where I've been seeing a fish just sitting there sunbathing. A nice common. I say nice, probably about mid to upper doubles. I'll be happy to catch it, put it that way. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm sort of literally casting at shadows at the moment. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to keep thrashing the place to a foam. I'm sure after missing that fish on the first cast over there, those fish knew I was there, and yeah, the game was over. So I've moved around a bit, give that a rest over there. I'm just going to give this a minute, 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to wind in and actually start setting up my tackle, getting the rods ready for the night. Don't know what the time is now. 3:30. Still got loads of time to get set up, but hey, be nice to get ahead of the game. Find some spots in amongst the weed. Watch guys, time's running away a bit. It's now 7:20. Obviously the rods are out. I've got two not tight to the rushes. There's a little bit of weed and crud right on the rushes. So I'll come off a bit, probably about a rod length off. It's nice and clear, and if I come any closer I go into a weed bed, so it's sort of like on the edge of the weed bed into the clear area. But saying that, I've still got pop-ups on, so I've got pop-ups on all three rods. OG Fish match the hatch style pop-ups, and they're about 2-3 inches off the deck. So just because there is just so much weed in there at the moment, I'm playing extra safe. I put those out with the boat, and I put some crumbed OG fruit and nut and OG Fish in there, a few OG Fish boilies, a handful of the Mutts Nuts, and yeah, that's it. And I didn't put anything on the hook, no mesh bag or anything, again because of the weed, but I did put a couple of bits of foam on each hook just to make sure it goes down on top of the weed, and then, you know, rig sinks down nice and slow on top of anything that's on the bottom. So even though I think it feels pretty clear out there, I'm sure there must be silkweed and stuff on the bottom. I'm not going to go with bottom baits. But anyway, we'll see what happens. If it works, we know we've got a method that works, and yeah, we can stick with it. But that's it, the rods are out. I did try just putting the drone up, but the wind is pretty bad, and the drone kept wanting to come home, saying that it's too dangerous for it to be flying. So I didn't get the best footage. But yeah, it's a bit breezy up there. The sun's starting to go down, and it's cooling down nicely. It's been really, really hot today. Forecast tomorrow is for showers, so we'll see what happens, but hopefully it'll be a bit nicer to have a bit cooler, just a bit more comfortable. That's the state of play. I'm going to cook myself some dinner in a minute. I've got a green curry, sticky rice,
So I'm going to get that on the Ridge Monkey, and yeah, just relax and chill and enjoy myself. But yeah, it's lovely to be down here, and yeah, it took me ages to get set up. As you know, I was feeding the fish around there with floaters and trying to get some sort of reaction, and yeah, I was around there on and off for hours basically, just flicking in floaters. Then when I went round with the bread, unfortunately I've only got those Warburton's rolls, and they just disintegrate. They're just no good for that style of fishing. But saying that, I did the first cast, I flicked it out, and I don't know if you see it on the camera, but a fish swam just underneath it, and I'm watching this fish thinking, oh my days, just missed that one. Next thing I know, the bread's gone and there's another fish gone behind it, and I thought, what's going on here? And I was too fixated on the first fish to realise the second fish. I'm pretty sure it took the bait, and by the time I realised what was going on, I just pulled the hook out. Yeah, and then they knew I was there. I don't know how, it's as subtle as anything, but just pulling that line out just pushed them out. So they went a bit quiet. So I persevered. It was good fun fishing though. I haven't fished like that for a long time. You know, you go into most fisheries these days, you've got your swim and that's all the water you've got. It's nice to be able to park up, put some stuff in the swim, but go and stalk elsewhere. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. Ross, one of the guys that helps run the Syndicate, he's come down, he's fishing a couple of swims down to my right, and he's down, I think, till it gets dark. He said he'd come and see me before he goes. So yeah, it's just the two of us on. There's a maximum of 3 anglers on this lake. I'm not too sure how many swims there are. There's a few dotted around. Looks like it's just going to be me for the night. So happy days. But it'd be nice to get a bite. But like I say, it's not an easy lake. I've got that impression when I first walked around it, and talking to Ross, it's like, yeah, it doesn't give up its goods very easily. So you can hope and you can try, and that's what I'm doing. While I'm doing that, I'm going to get some food on, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Morning guys, just about 6:30. I've had a bit of a lie-in. It's been a muggy night and nothing to talk of on the rods. A few knocks and twitches. I've heard a few fish crashing in different areas through the night, not many, and yeah, so it's been quiet. I've had a good kip, but like I say, it was a bit muggy. And Ross, the guy who was fishing, I think it's next door swim or next door but one, yesterday evening, he's a fellow Parker Baits ambassador. He came up to me, so he just had one. Not only he just had one, he's a 29.5 pound absolute stonking mirror, and hopefully I'll get a picture to show you on the screen. But it was absolutely amazing, and yeah, he's a very happy boy. Then not long after that, he packed up and came round, and we just sat and had a chat all about fishing and putting the world to rights and what have you. And yeah, it was a very enjoyable evening. He packed up, went home, a very happy man. So yeah, it's good to see him coming out, and it was an absolute amazing fish. So nice one, Ross. That's where we are at. I've not had anything. I didn't think I would, if I'm honest. You know, going into these things, obviously you've got to be optimistic. All the time you've got a bait out, you've got a chance. But on a new water, a new finicky little water, and Ross was telling me these fish, they've seen it all. They, you know, they move off when they know there's someone around. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I've got the baits out, and I've got another night ahead of me. Yeah, we're going to give it another go, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a chance. But we can but try. So I'm back at it. Back in the same swim I was in yesterday. There's far fewer fish. There's a couple of fish bouncing the lily pads over there. And there's one. I've got my bait on the very tip. You might not be able, probably won't be able to see it through this foliage, but on the very tip of the right hand side lily pad, I've got my bread bomb with the Warburton's bun, and the lily pad beside it is being knocked. So there's a fish right near it. So fingers crossed he gets the sniff of it and comes up for it. We'll see what happens. I think this is my last chance on the surface. There's a few ripples coming by it. I haven't seen the fish. I've just seen the pads being knocked. And it's not small fish, it's carp doing it. Oh, it's very close. It's very, very close. Well, I have seen carp down here. Like I say, nothing like the numbers of yesterday. And they're very cagey. Very, very cagey. Good evening everyone, it's about 10 to 7 and still nothing to report. I ran the rods in about 1 o'clock, went for a walk around the lake, took my floaters with me and yeah, I've got some floaters out in that corner section where I was yesterday. There's a few fish, not many, not as many as yesterday, but there's still a couple of fish around, milling around, and so I put some floaters out and walked around the lake. Saw a couple more up in the corner opposite over there in the bay, and that's about it. Couldn't see any other fish, so I went back, put some more floaters out from the little swim where I was fishing from yesterday. As soon as the floaters went anywhere near the fish, they just faded from view and yeah, just disappeared. They weren't having none of it. But persevere like I do. I did see a couple of other shadows just underneath the pads and in the weed, and I thought I'd try the bread bomb with the rolls in, and yeah, still no joy, absolutely nothing happening. The nearest I did get was I put the bread bomb out and it was just sinking slowly, and this nice mirror, it looks a bit ghosty, quite an orangey colour mirror, came in. It was probably about 3 foot away from me, underneath my feet. I was sort of trying to disappear into the bushes next to me, and it just came down, flanked down, went down to the bottom, and I just loaded the bread in there, sinking, and it sort of went round, and I thought it was going to turn around, but it didn't, just off he went. And that was it. But it's been very peaceful. I've had the lake to myself. It's been really enjoyable, and yeah, it's just a really relaxing way of fishing. It's been really nice, really chilled. Yeah, I'm enjoying myself even though I'm not caught. So it makes a nice change, a bit of a breath of fresh air, coming fishing. And I don't mean it in an horrible way, but you know, there's no other anglers, you don't get no one casting, you know, spomming, water being thrashed or thrown nearby. It's just you and the lake and the fish and the cows behind the camera. There's bloody hundreds of cows behind the camera. But yeah, it's just us, absolutely peaceful, peace and quiet. Just what the doctor ordered, and yeah, I'm enjoying it very much. Unfortunately, I've not done a lot of vlogging. There's not been a lot to film really. The rods are back out. I put those out about 3:30, 4 o'clock after I walked around the lake, and yeah, there's slightly different spots, same sort of areas, slightly different spots. The only difference is left hand rod and right hand rod are now both solid bags with little magic beans. The middle rod is a long hook length with a hinge stiff rig, and it's popped up about 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe. and on that I've got 2 of the small OG fish pop-ups, and that's it. I'm gonna see what it gives. I feel like I'm starting to waffle, so I'm going to call it a night there, and if it happens, obviously I'll let you know. But yeah, there's nothing to report. It's just me fishing, enjoying myself. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Morning guys, just gone 6. It's a beautiful morning. Bit of mist coming off the lake, and unfortunately the rod's been quiet all night. I would say I've had a bleep or 2 if at most. Yeah, very, very quiet. But the fish are waking up. I've seen a few boshing around, mainly down to my left, but there's one boshed next to the 2 sets of lily pads straight out. I've got a bait just the other side of the pads over there, between the pads and the weed. So yeah, not a million miles away, but you know, I knew it wasn't going to be easy, although Ross makes it look easy when he comes down and has a 29-pounder in a few hours fishing. But that's he's got lots of experience on here. He knows this lake, he's been fishing it a long time, but I'm a newbie. I've got to learn the lake, as it were. It's very quiet for me. A really good night's sleep. I think there's a wedding going on at the manor yesterday evening. I could hear some new live band playing, which was quite nice. Didn't go on too late, so it's all good. And yeah, a nice peaceful night. And we'll see what happens this morning. I'm not feeling very hopeful, if I'm honest. I'd love for one of these to shoot off. I don't think it's going to, but you know what they say, you've got to be in it to win it. And I'll be packing up about lunchtime, or 11ish. I'll be packing down and heading home. And that's about it really. But hopefully before then we do get a chance of a fish. And if I do, you will know. But anyway, I'm going to chill. That's what I've been doing since Friday, chilling. Absolutely love this place for chilling. It is amazing. And yeah, that's it guys. I'm going to see you in a bit.
Whew. What's you guys? As you can see, all packed up in the car, ready to go home. It was a blank, but an enjoyable blank. It's like stepping back 30 years, going back to when well, not when I first started fishing, but early days of my fishing, where you turn up to a lake, you know, you can walk around, you've got no pressure about people jumping in the swim. It's nice to be able to set a base camp up, walk around, do a bit of stalking. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I ran the rods in earlier, had a quick look over in the corner where I've been seeing those fish, and I saw a giant of a fish. It was huge, possibly the biggest fish I've actually seen. I've seen bigger fish on the bank, but actually just witnessed one in the water. It could be the biggest fish I've seen swimming around. So I put a few floaters out just to see if there's any interest, and no, there wasn't. And you know what, he just faded away. It's so funny how you can see them 1 minute and then they just gentle waft of the tail and they're gone, and you can't see them. They're like, only got to go a foot or so below the surface and they're invisible, especially with that weed. If you go under that weed, you've got no chance of spotting them. So I thought, that's it, calling it a day, get to the car. And now I'm very keen to get home and see the wife, and now feed the dog, see how he's doing. I hear he's doing very well, so it's all good. I'm in a good head place at the moment. A thoroughly relaxing weekend. I know my dog's okay, and yeah, all's good in the world. Let's see if I get one next time. But until then, if you get on the bank, be lucky, and I'll see you soon.